Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Josh and Artemis Show. Tonight, we are getting into Sean Strickland, UFC MMA fighter, basically calling out Justin Trudeau, saying how he wants Canada to be free. And obviously, we are not at the minute. So, yeah, we're going to get into that today.
Yeah, and some very controversial comments, I guess, which, of course, some debate online, which we'll get into as well. But before we get into the show, as usual, if you're new, if you're not new, give us a sub, give us a like, give us a share if you like the stuff we talk about.
For sure. And if you do want to go that little bit further, you can become a YouTube or Patreon member. You can also become a member on buymeacoffee.com. Links are all in the description of this video. And of course, in our bio on X and YouTube. On X, you just have to click view more. And then you can see a full bio with the links. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's get into it, yeah. So Sean Strickland, so he's been in Toronto the last few days because the UFC are here at the moment. So he's done a couple of press conferences. And of course, as usual with Sean, he's got a history of this. He makes the headlines. So, and he's made them again here. So let's get into this.
Of course.
So the title is, I care about you guys being free. Sean Strickland stands up for Canadian fans. I didn't know I was fighting in North Korea, said the UFC champion, who doubled down. I mean, he's spot on.
Well,
but it's not literally North Korea.
Yeah,
it's
not as bad, but, you know, heading in the wrong direction for sure.
It's not literally North Korea, but the similarities in what you can and can't do, what you can and can't say, and the control and the authoritarianism. He's got a point. He's definitely got a point.
It's not a good look for Canadians, and Canadians don't like it either, to be honest. And
some do. Apparently, some do. Some actually like Trudeau and what he's done to this country. We're certainly not those people, but there are some people who do like him. Don't know why, but they do.
Don't know why.
So let's scroll down, get into it. So UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland continues to give his thoughts on Canada as he was asked about the country again during the UFC 297 pre-fight press conference on January the 18th. After creating international headlines the day before. So he was asked by a reporter in the first question of the night. You said a lot of things about Canada. What does it feel like to be a hero to these people, referring to Strickland's comments the day prior, which went viral? We actually do have the clips, but we're going to go through this article first, and we'll bring you the clips.
Thank you, Rebel News, as always. Great reporting.
Yeah, they're always posting good stuff. Well, they've been posting some great stuff at the minute.
Yeah.
Go subscribe to them, follow.
For sure.
As well on X.
They're linked also in the description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a little quote from one of the clips as well. So this is what the media doesn't understand. I care about you guys being free. I care about you guys having freedom of speech. Do you agree? Do you agree with that?
1,010%. Yeah. I mean, he is spot on. I don't think I agree with everything he's said in some of the clips, but for the majority, yeah. I mean, he is spot on. And like, you know, we never used to have to even worry about that in Canada until recent years. So, yeah, we need saving. Pierre, where are you? We're waiting.
I think he's going to come in. When's the election again? Is it next November? This November?
No, it's next year. Well, it's not November either. It's not like the US. I almost want to say it's definitely in the winter months though, because I remember it being cold. Might be like February or something. I'll have to look at it, to be honest. But
XJ in the chat, good to see you, mate.
Good to see you.
Stop to say hi. You're watching Viva Frey yet?
Viva Frey. Why do I know that name?
Yeah, we retweeted something of his, Jay. Not really. Well, we'll probably catch the replay. I'm not really sure what he's talking about tonight, but if you could let us know.
Oh, Viva Frey. That yeah. Okay, I was like, that name's so familiar.
Yeah, put what he's talking about in the chat, Joe. I'd be interested to know, but we'll check out the replay for sure, mate. Yeah, but yeah, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, let's get back into this article then we'll play some clips for you guys. I know you're looking forward to seeing the clips.
Oh yeah, clips are good.
Let's go down.
Clips are good.
So the UFC champion reflected for a second, replying again with a true heartfelt response. You know, man, well, let me tell you. Let me tell you guys something. And this is what the media doesn't understand when it comes to me and you guys and Australian fans. Strickland called out the tyrannical Australian government for its pandemic restrictions back in September 2023 at the Sydney UFC 293, mentioning one particular case where a pregnant mother was arrested in front of her kids by Victoria Police in 2020. Interesting. Australian. So this is his tweet, I guess. Australian government. Sean's a bad person.
Love it. Just a blanket statement.
Sean's a bad person. We condemn his comments. Man, I've never had a world government talk about me, but fuck yeah. I mean, you can't label someone a bad person because you don't agree with what they've said.
Yeah.
You know? The UFC champion continued.
It's because basically the context, it says pregnant woman arrested over online protest post.
Well, yeah.
So she posted online. Oh no.
And that's the thing. I mean, we watch a lot of Australian news as well, and
yeah,
it's a common theme, I guess, with Australia and here that we're seeing it in lots of different countries. This overreach from the government to control things and stick the nose into places which they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
So it's a common theme, and obviously Strickland doesn't give a shit, and rightly so.
It's true. Good to see you, SS. It's all part of the New World Order. They want us all to be confused. Men are women, women are men, mass migration is good, and borders are bad. Their main goal is to reduce population. 100%. We saw, what was that? Who was that speaking today at WEF? Where he was basically saying how like there's a lot of people who are like a waste of space.
Oh yeah, it was this.
That was crazy.
I've forgotten his name now, but it's an AI. I think he's like an AI author. I mean, he's not AI. He's like a real person.
Yeah, but yeah, essentially, he was just saying that like there's a lot of people on Earth who are like a waste of space. They're useless. Like that, you know, they're not necessary in the world.
Well, that's how a lot of these people view the population. They view us like just things at the end of the day, you know?
It was really really weird to hear that, to be honest.
For sure. But good to see you, SS.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Or lady. I'm not sure if you're a
we
man
don't
or
know.
a woman.
We don't know.
But I'm sorry if I misgendered you.
Something tells me they would be very offended as well.
Definitely.
If people are so confused as to what basic biology is, then how could they even think about having kids? Gen Z will be childless. Exactly.
That is the point, SS. I completely agree. It does feel like society, not all society, but there's a group of people who, you know, are promoting this way of living which is anti-children at the end of the day. You know, they want to sterilize kids. They want to get us, you know, believing in certain things which don't actually exist in normal reality. And it's concerning. But, you know, there are a group of people, you know, most people, I would say, you know, the vast majority of people aren't really going along with this crap, to be honest.
For sure.
But of course, the media will try and convince us that they are.
But yeah, the smaller group who do believe in this crazy nonsense are the ones being propped up in the media to make it, you know, more widespread, more normalized. Meanwhile, people are not going to want to go along with it. Like, don't tell me that a man can have his period. It's like, if that's the case and you're saying a trans man, well, guess what? They're biological female. So that is the only reason why they can. And, you know, same thing with like men can get pregnant. I don't think so.
Well,
like, it's not since the beginning of time.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a clip we'll play later of Douglas Murray. And he talks about on this clip how, you know, he hates lies, right? And at the end of the day, that's what you're doing when you ask to go along with something which, you know, fundamentally it's
a lie.
It's not true. So and you know, that makes people uncomfortable because I agree. I mean, I don't want to live in a lie, you know, and when I know something isn't true and I've got to go along with it, it doesn't make me feel very comfortable, to be honest. But you know, of course, I've got manners and I'll be polite to someone. So if someone says their name's Dave when they're actually a woman,
I'll call you Dave.
Then I'll call you Dave. But don't expect me to believe that you're actually a man. You know, you know. But of course, I'll be polite and stuff, but I'm not gonna
For sure.
pretend that you're actually a man, you know?
There's basic levels of respect, human to human,
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is uncomfortable, and like it just goes against like, you know, how you feel when you have to kind of go along with something and you know it's lies. And especially when it comes to the gender thing, because it's like, well, I know what a woman is because I literally am one.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm saying,
You-
you can confirm if you want. I'm just kidding. No, but no, but it's like, and then I have to like pander to somebody else saying, well, I'm a trans woman and I'm a real woman. It's like, but you're not. Like, I know that you're not, because I know the difference. We used to know the difference, and now we're trying to forego science. And yeah, I just can't. It's, you know, I'll always be respectful to people, and at the end of the day, people can feel how they want, but also at the end of the day, there's a level of reality that we need to keep
remaining
and remain in. And you know, I just can't go beyond that line. Like it's just wrong.
Absolutely. Jay says, my news guy in the Great White North, even though he moved to Florida, he was all over the trucker thing. Okay, yeah, we'll check it out. We'll check it out. SS says the Strong family. Oh, we'll do Jay's one first.
Sorry, it's just I think it's a second thing.
No, that's okay. Thought of Artemis and Josh mentioned you're all watching Rebellious Unknown earlier. Lynn did a NASA hearing. Oh, nice. I'm glad Lynn's still doing the YouTube.
Oh, like
channel.
Lynn, like yeah, Lynn.
Yeah, she's a nice.
I forget her. Lynn. Like I don't remember her last name.
She was nice, so wasn't she?
She was really nice. We went on her show like eons ago. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, that's nice.
Appreciate
Lynn
that.
did a NASA hearing watch party. Cool.
Check it out. The strong family structure is our only hope. Strong men who will speak up and say, cut the shit. Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
You know, we all try to do our part, SS, at the end of the day. You know, like, you know, and we were debating this for a while because, you know, we don't agree with this. We've got young girls here, two young girls, and, you know, I've got nieces and things like this. And, you know, it's important that we all kind of voice our concerns about this, in my opinion, because, you know, we're seeing women's rights being taken away, and we're seeing children being manipulated and groomed, which can't be allowed to happen. In my opinion. I mean, you know, the way kids are getting treated these days is disgusting. Really
1,000,000%.
Let's get back to this.
Yeah, let's get back to it.
So recently, the Footwear Giant. Okay,
sorry.
That's okay. So the controversial American athletic apparel company has been attacked for its usage of sweatshop factories in Indochina from the 90s to the early 2000s, and is now benefiting from Chinese Uyghur forced labor. Recently, the Footwear Giant promoted gender ideology through a partnership with trans activist Dylan Mulvaney, with Caitlyn Jenner called out for being too woke. I don't give a fuck about that. I care about you guys. I care about you guys being free. I care about you guys having freedom of speech. I give a fuck about you guys. I'll tell you what, you guys are fucking awesome. I mean, and this is the thing. I mean, good. Like, I'm glad that someone in his kind of position, let's not forget, he's UFC champion. You know, he's a big voice. And people need to start calling out how dumb this government is here, and what Justin Trudeau has done to this country. Yeah. The past 8 years, is it 8 years since he's been in charge? Yeah. 8 years or something. This country's gone. It's way downhill. It's just a joke.
I mean, it's gotten a lot worse even since you've been here you've been here just over 2 years now. Yeah. And it's definitely gotten worse as well. Like, you've seen it regress as well. I have. You know, since you've been here. Yeah.
And you know, and we've got a PM here who's openly, you know, promoting this gender stuff onto kids, which I just completely do not agree with in the slightest. And it's just wrong to me. It's just completely wrong. Okay, Strickland pressed the media, asking them back in response if they were on board with that, and if they voted for Trudeau, alluding to them being communists, which I've said a few times on this show, but it's a communist place here at the minute. You elected Justin Trudeau when he seized bank accounts. You're just fucking pathetic.
True, but I think the vote the election was before that happened. I think if that happened after that, sorry, I think if it happened after, that would have changed the votes drastically. But yeah, the timing of it was before, I want to say.
It would have been after the election because
our last election was 2019.
Yeah, so the season bank accounts was after the election.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think if that happened before the election, that would have completely changed things.
I mean,
that's what I mean.
Just that thing alone, how he literally, stopped people's bank accounts and stopped funding to their cause because he didn't agree with them. That alone should mean he shouldn't win the next election just for that incident.
Yeah,
by itself. And that's just
peaceful protesting as well. Nothing like what we see today.
And that's just one small part of the shit show of his government. That's literally just one small part of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on to these clips, I guess.
This was funny because this is definitely about Greta Thunberg. LOL, all the biggest companies are the biggest rights violators, but we have an autistic Swedish girl yelling at us about cow farts.
Honestly, SS, I've been saying this for years, right? About
it's ridiculous.
About grifty Greta, okay? How
you think she was implanted here for a reason.
I think she's being propped up by these people because at the end of the day, when she first came onto the scene, I think she was about maybe 14 or 15. And I can remember thinking, why is this girl all over the TV and she's got autism and then she's talking
Asperger's, which is a form, I guess.
Which is fine. But again, you're propping this young girl up talking about climate, right? When there's no proof to what she's actually saying.
Yeah. At the end of the day, guys, everything that has been predicted has not come to life.
So for me, it's clearly that they were using her to push their own agenda because who's going to argue with a kid? And that's what they did. I mean, anyone who kind of spoke out against Greta Thunberg was deemed like a bully at the end of the day because it's a kid, and again, it's by design because what better spokesperson to have than a child with like a mental health illness, like they're untouchable.
Yeah,
pretty
much the golden girl.
Yeah, the golden girl or Grefty Greta. Grefty. No.
Exactly. They wanted the optics of an innocent child. Yeah, for sure. And then like her just yelling at a bunch of adults. How dare you? How dare you?
One of my favorite clips.
I know that'll just go down like for life. Like that was years ago and it's still funny.
Yeah. But didn't she said as well by 2023 that I think the world was going to end or something. Then she deleted that tweet. Remember?
Well, of course she did because it's 2024 and we're still alive.
We're still alive, guys. Yeah.
Oh man.
just like all of these climate doomsday predictions.
Yeah. Just stop putting dates on things. How about that?
They never happen.
I know. Just take care of things. Don't be a dick and pollute everywhere, especially nice parks and stuff. And just carry on. I don't know. Like, what do you want? Because just don't be a pig and like put like trash everywhere because that's just not nice in general.
Just clean up after yourself and then stop telling people what to do.
Yeah.
Done. It's not that deep. But anyway, let's get on to these clips.
Yeah.
So going to the clips at the top left.
Okay. Yeah.
So this was the one that caused a lot of controversy, I guess. So this is Sean Strickland talking about Justin Trudeau, Canada, and also the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah.
So it's gotten a lot of backlash. So we'll play it and then we'll react to it. So there's things we don't agree with, but there's also things we do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play it.
We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said if I had a gay son, I would think I'd...
Oh, look, another. I'm saying to you, the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and someone says...
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance
No,
to interact with a more diverse...
Are you... Let me know. Are you gay?
Can I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking. This is a part of... Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude. You're part of the fucking problem. You elected Justin Trudeau. Like, with you fucking when he sees the bank accounts, like you're just fucking pathetic. And the fact that you have no fucking backbone, and has he shut down your fucking country and seized bank accounts? You ask me some stupid shit like that, go fuck yourself. Move the fuck on, man.
I feel like that doesn't really answer the question, but I did want to ask also things you said about the trans community. You said this past October when they announced the Bud Light sponsorship that you'd go so hard on Bud Light in your next fight, they'll have to accept me or denounce me when they know what, and they'll know what they stand for. Are you
This guy's like, nah, this Canadian's not that Canadian.
Are you still going to use your fight time to kind of speak on that?
Here's the thing about Bud Light. 10 years ago, to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have fucking weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of fucking you. And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your fucking bullshit you're fucking peddling. The world is not saying, you know what? You're right. Fucking chicks have dicks. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are two genders. I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could fuck in school. I don't want my kids being taught about, their sexual preference. Like, dude, this guy is the fucking enemy. You want to look at the fucking enemy to our world? It's that motherfucker right there.
But he's not wrong with that. I mean, I don't agree with the gay part, but
so what's like your thoughts on it? Because obviously there's things we agree with and there's things we
don't.
Yeah,
basically everything about the trans stuff, totally agree. And it is people not exactly that guy, but everything like that guy who's asking the questions. But I mean, the gay part, no, I think you should accept your kids the way they are. But that goes in line with the trans movement because it's kind of trying to like erase gays and lesbians, because instead of just accepting your child for who they are, and if they grow up to be, let's say it's a boy and they grow up to be gay, you're basically saying, no, you're in the wrong body. You're meant to be a woman. And then basically erasing like part of who they are. Like, I don't agree with that part, but everything else is completely spot on. Like most people, whether they're afraid to say it in a public setting or not, are not accepting of this trans movement where people are going along saying, yeah, a woman can have a dick and a guy can have a vagina. It's like, no, like stop going away from science and biology and just facts. Like, and it is an insult to women because men are dressing up like a woman and saying, yeah, look at me, I'm a woman. It's like, you're nothing. Like, you're not at all of what a woman is. And you'll never know what that feels like because, you're XY, I'm XX. Like, that's it. Like, it's just right down to the DNA.
Simple as that. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've got, my uncle's gay and I've got a cousin who's gay as well. So I don't agree with what he said about gay people because to me, like, being gay is just normal. You can't really control being gay. You're either born straight or you're born gay, and something you can't control. But with the transgender stuff, I completely agree with him. And like we've said previously on the show and tonight, if you want to go around, calling yourself Dave when you're actually a woman, or calling yourself, I don't know,
just whatever,
like Sarah when you're actually Steve, fine, okay, and I'll address you as your name, but don't expect me to believe that you're the sex that you're not. I don't
think I can go along with calling you a she when you're a he.
It's just not going to happen for me because number one, I live in like reality where facts matter and sex matters, and number two, I don't like lies. I don't like lies. I don't like lying.
Yeah, it's very manipulative.
And it's very manipulative. And at the end of the day, you're asking someone to change their beliefs to suit you. Which isn't right. I mean, it's the same thing when someone is a religious person, if they believe in God or they, and then they try to force their religion onto you. That's not fair. And I don't like that either.
Yeah.
And to me, it's the same thing. If just believe whatever you want to believe, but don't expect everybody else to believe it too. And that's just how I see it. But like I've always said, of course I'll be polite and I'll address you by your name, but don't expect me to go along with your reality.
For sure.
It's as simple as that for me.
Yeah. Can we all just agree that Trudeau is Castro's son?
Yeah. I mean, there's been some strong rumors about that. That's us. I've seen some rumors. Bud Light is facing a strike. There will be no more Bud Light on the shelves in March. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the worst thing that they ever did, was get Dylan Mulvaney to be their
100%.
spokesperson or whatever it was.
Honestly, we never really drank Bud Light anyway.
Well, it's Bud Shite at the end of the day.
But
That's
we
how I see
wouldn't
it.
now at all, for sure. He was saying that if his son was gay, he would feel like he failed as a man, not that he wouldn't love him.
Yeah.
For sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, but the grandkids thing, it's like, well, your kids can grow up to be straight and not want kids either. And in addition, if they were gay or lesbian, there are ways to have children otherwise.
I've also seen a different clip today, which I didn't put in the bookmarks. I forgot to do it, but where he's defending gay people as well.
Yeah, I don't think he hates gay people.
He doesn't, and this is the thing. But the way this journalist, this fucking arsehole journalist, has tried to put a gotcha question on him.
Of course.
And to me, and rightly so, Sean went in hard on him because, at the end of the day, the media shouldn't be dictating things. And this is what people seem to forget. The media don't have any power. At the end of the day, we're the ones who answer, not us specifically, but Sean. He's the one who answers the questions, and he can answer them however the hell he wants. Sure. And like journalism in general has went massively downhill. Yeah. Massively downhill.
For sure.
And, we've all seen how manipulative, it is now, the mainstream media.
For sure. And I don't think he's like a homophobic. And that's why I think he's just separating as well, though, gays and lesbian, like LGB with trans, because I think a lot of people are starting to do that as well, because it's like, no, we support that. That's real. Trans is an ideology that is like a virus cult. And it's just like infecting the minds of like mainly in the West and Australia and everything. And most people just don't buy into it. But there's this small niche of people who do, and they're being propped up in the media as if it's like you walk down the street and you see like 20 trans people on your way into work or something, which isn't really the case. But that's how much it's being propped up in the media, that's all you see. Or, we commented on something earlier where there was like a trans on an Sports Illustrated magazine, and now people are boycotting the magazine because it's like trying to brainwash men who are straight into thinking like that they want this trans woman when really it's just a man. So it's like, heterosexual men are not going to be attracted to that no matter what you do. So it's just, that's what we're seeing a lot in the mainstream media, or like, trans women like modeling sports bras as if like they really know what it's like to run with boobs, or it's just like that kind of thing that you're seeing, which is just like, you wonder why. Well, you don't have to wonder that hard, but you can see it.
It all comes down to money. The LGBTQ community is about 0.0001% of the UFC fan community. Why would that be a question? Too bad he looked like an idiot. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
That's what we're saying.
It is, probably.
It was a stupid question to ask. And of course, the journalist knew exactly what the answer would be as well. Yeah. And so he's basically trying to just put this bullshit story out there, but it's all over. I have seen some headlines, especially from the CBC here, which is, government bought and paid for news corporation, trying to say that, he's like a right-wing bigot or whatever. And to me, it's just a lazy thing to say, because, if you don't agree with the government here, you're automatically a Nazi, effectively.
Madness, folks.
Even though, Nazis are fascists, and the only people who are practicing fascism here are the government. So you can't. So again, it's just the hypocrisy, which we're seeing all over the place.
100%.
And it's tiring. It's tiring because we all know it's hypocrisy, but we have to keep dealing with it.
Yeah.
Pandering
to the mentally ill.
Yeah. Anyway, let's play the next clip.
All right. So this one, April Hutchinson shared. We had her on the show about a week or two ago. Great person to follow, guys, as well. Just want to highlight that. She's, very active in the women's rights and women's right to have sports be female. She's got merch out. I think she's going to be doing like a women's conference soon.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with April, she was the lady who was banned for 2 years by the Canadian powerlifting union, I think it is, for basically stating that a biological male who was a competitor against her was a man and not a transgender woman, and basically just voicing concerns that it's not fair.
Yeah,
and she was suspended for 2 years. Like it's unbelievable.
It has been lowered to 1 year since, but it's still ridiculous that they didn't that they did it in the first place. Like, I don't think she should have gotten any kind of suspension. It's stating a fact, and there's immense hypocrisy about it. This man would have ranked like over 6,000th place in the men's category, comes over to the women, and of course is stronger and has like 4 out of the 5 titles, and then goes on to also make these social media clips saying, like, calling the women weak and why is their bench press so shit, blah, blah, blah. So is mocking the women as well while claiming that they are one. It's just, it's blatant hypocrisy.
Well, it ties into a lot of this stuff. It's all about an ego as well.
It is, yeah. These men are just faking it for the titles because they wouldn't get any as a man.
Yeah. Right, let's play this clip and we'll react to it.
Yeah. Sean is for the people.
But when have you ever seen a UFC champion, George St. Pierre, or anybody else stick up for you fucking guys? I fucking do it. I do it. I am not chasing the Chinese check mark of Nike. I don't give a about that. I care about you guys. I care about you guys being free. I care about you guys having freedom of speech. I give a fuck about you guys. And I'll tell you what, you guys are fucking awesome, and I cannot wait for this man to fucking go to war for you fucking guys. Let's go. But when have you ever...
What's your thoughts?
Oh, it's great. And I mean, I guess he's a point. I don't really see George St. Pierre anywhere, but that's like pretty much the main UFC person I know in Canada. I don't know if he even still fights.
But he's kept his mouth shut. He keeps his mouth shut about all this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, to be fair, though, I don't follow George St. Pierre, so I don't know if he says anything. However, I could hazard a guess that he doesn't. And clearly, if Sean's calling him out, he definitely doesn't. Like, he wouldn't say that to all these people if it wasn't true.
Maybe because if George did it, because he's Canadian and he lives here, then Justin Trudeau might ban him as well, like they did with April.
Maybe, but he is from Quebec, and usually Quebecois, if anybody knows any, are very outspoken and do speak their mind. So it is a bit, like now that he's mentioned it, it's like, I'm surprised he hasn't said anything unless he agrees with all of this, which who knows, or just doesn't want the attention from the media, and so just doesn't say anything about it.
Yeah,
who knows? But I do appreciate all these clips of how Sean is basically fighting for Canada.
It's brilliant.
It's like brilliant. UFC Canada edition.
It's brilliant. And that's why
I love his shirt too.
And that's why the UFC for me is great, because, it's like Dana White's got a very loose approach with the press events and stuff. And
I mean, look what he mocked Nike.
Yeah. And for me, he just promotes freedom of speech at the end of the day. And again, you don't have to agree with everything Sean said or everything someone else says, but they do have a right to voice their opinions, and that's what we've all got to remember. For sure. Because I've seen people saying that what you said was hate speech and blah blah blah. But for me, it's not hate speech.
Not at all.
He's voicing his concerns, and clearly he's very passionate about his beliefs in what's going on in this country. So to me, we need more people like Sean calling this stuff out.
Yeah, and I mean, if people have a look around on X, like, we actually follow a lot of like Canadian accounts that call this stuff out all the time, and they're not anybody in the mainstream media, but there are people who are calling this out and who are just going about their lives, but who think this is ridiculous. And trust me, like, that's just what people will post publicly, behind the scenes, there's probably, you know, a lot more people who are agreeing with the fact that Canada is not being run well, and we do not have a capable leader.
Joe Rogan's called it out a couple of times
Oh, I
recently.
love that.
Yeah.
But I just mean Canadians,
Yeah.
like, because of course, again, that's America and that's their view of us, which is pretty accurate. Yeah, that clip of Joe Rogan calling him a piece of shit was pretty funny. We've played that. That was about a month ago on the show or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
He's not
it's
wrong.
just
He's not wrong.
he's not wrong, and he called it out as, like, Joe Rogan called it out that, you know, basically Trudeau is turning this country into a communist country, and he's like a dictator. And I mean, the way things are going, yeah, I mean, you can see it, and so that's why people are so desperate to get him out there. That even if, you know, you see somebody like Pierre who's a conservative, like, you kind of just don't, like, you can see what he wants to do with the country, and it's like, honestly, it doesn't matter if you were liberal or conservative before, or NDP, whatever you were. When you're looking at what this guy is offering, it's like people here are like very desperate for a change, and like a radical change, because the way things are going, it is turning into something like communist dictatorship, censored, no free speech unless you have one like hive mind, which that's not what we're all about, at least not in the West. So
that's what they want us to be.
We need change.
Let's read these comments. They are scared of men like Strickland. Look what one strong man standing up can do to all those fighting age men. It scares them to death. They want them feminized. Weak men don't revolt. Exactly. You know, and this is a common thing we're seeing all over the place, is people just, you know, they're just too afraid to say how they feel, and they're too afraid to tell the truth, you know, and nobody should be afraid to tell the truth at the end of the day. But, you know, we're asked to just believe fundamental lies, right? What everybody knows are lies, but we're expected to go along with them. And I'm not going to do it. And you're not going to do it.
No, definitely not.
Simple as that.
Jay said, I had a bi niece and a gay niece, both passed in their early 30s. Sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that, Jay.
I also have a trans niece and a bi granddaughter, all abused. Sad. Yeah, unfortunately, you know, that is common that we've, you know, seen in studies is, you know, so a lot of these children have already had mental health issues or abuse, trauma, or autistic, things like that, that kind of contribute to this gender ideology. But yeah, hopefully you're just supportive of them. I'm sure you are.
Yeah, I mean, and we've said this as well. I mean, there needs to be Uncle Don is on MAGA. Good night, Jay.
MAGA all the way, and MCGA, make Canada great again as well, please.
We need it. We need it to be great.
Jumping
again
on that bandwagon.
But yeah, in terms of the trans thing before, I think more mental health support needs to be given to young people. That's like a big issue with this, because clearly there's a lot of confused kids out there who are suffering with lots of different things, and it doesn't help how, you know, teachers, school counselors, hospitals, some parents, childcares, parents, the media are all pushing this thing where, you know, if you basically children can be born in the wrong body, which is complete bollocks. Of course, we know it is, but we're expected to go along with it. And you know, people need to stand up and say, no, what you're saying is rubbish, but can we please get some more funding for mental health support for these kids? Because it's completely backwards. Like, you know, where the priorities are completely backwards to me. Anyway, let's go on to the last clip, and then we'll finish it there. So we'll play this clip from Douglas Murray, which ties into what we're saying about lies and things like this. So I posted this a few days ago on X, but I've been waiting to play it on the show, so I thought I'd do it now. So let's read. So basically, here's a little quote from the clip. If you agree to the thing you know isn't true today, you will agree to another set of untruths tomorrow. Yeah, spot on. And this is why we can't go. This is why we can't, you know, accept lies. We have to tell the truth. It's just, to me, it's just the basic thing to do is tell the truth. You know,
100%.
And you can't hide from the truth at the end of the day.
And we've said it about a million times on and off camera, but the truth always comes out anyway. So you may as well just be honest.
Exactly.
You know, honesty is the best policy. And in this case, so is reality and facts, guys.
Yeah,
Let's not let go of science, please. Yeah.
Especially the bit that bothers me is I don't like lies. I just don't like them. My view on the trans thing, for instance, is I always say I do call people by the name they ask me to call them, sure. But I won't then pretend, as I say, that chromosomes don't exist. And why I say this and why I'm one of these people who on this ends up getting grief for this, but it's worth it, is because I know from societies that have gone wrong that one of the ways in which societies go wrong is when lies become embedded. And in a way, it matters less how big the lie is to begin with. But it matters because lies are profoundly demoralizing. I've traveled all across the world. I've seen some unbelievable sites and places and societies that have gone so badly wrong. North Korea, for instance. And we don't live in a North Korea, obviously. But when you see a truly destroyed society, one of the things that is always at the root of it is that the population have to agree to things they know aren't true.
Yeah.
Because if you agree to the thing that you know isn't true today, you will agree to another set of untruths tomorrow. None of this is to say be unpleasant to people. Obviously not. Obviously not. But don't demand that we agree to things we don't think are true. Or at the very least, let's discuss it. Don't shut it down.
Spot on.
Honestly. And this comment is spot on as well.
Douglas Murray has the moral compass we all should strive to have. Yeah, we absolutely love him.
Love
him.
Douglas Murray.
And, you know, we could spend hours.
Yeah, like just binge watching him, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I did the other day because I couldn't sleep. I was up till about 3 or 4 in the morning just on like a massive Douglas Murray
rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And again, and we've referenced, the book, 1984. And yeah, I mean, like, I guess this was on Instagram or maybe it was X, I don't know. Like a month ago, this I just saw like a clip in passing and it was basically on a news station where, you know, some girl was trying to say that you know, people are doing math wrong and that, you know, 2 + 2 could equal 5. And it was just like,
what? Was that
yeah,
real
remember
thing?
I showed you that. And then like even Lucy replied to it. But yeah, I mean, I think it was on Instagram that confirmed it actually.
In what context? Like just a piss
She was
take,
on, no, it was like one of these people who like are very woke and whatever, and just saying how like math is not universal and how
it's
I know.
It's the language of the universe.
Literally. But yeah, and like she was going on just saying, you know, how people need to like let go of what we've been told and what we've been brainwashed to think, and how 2 + 2 doesn't always equal 4, it could equal 5. And like the news broadcaster, it was a woman and she was just like,
yeah.
She
was she not agreeing with it?
No, she wasn't. I need to dig up this clip. Maybe I could find it. But basically the newscast was just like, or the broadcaster was just like, what? Like, no, 2 + 2 would equal 4. And like just very confused, but it was a very short clip. And like that girl was like, no, not always. It could equal 5. And it's like, you are everything wrong with the world. My God. Like you can't even like do simple math. And like, is this what you're going to teach like children in the classes?
It's just the principle that someone can actually question what 2 and 2 is. It's just the fact that, you know, the mind's virus has corrupted them so much that they're even questioning what 2 and 2 is when everybody in the world knows it's 4.
Well, yeah, just basically saying
everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it could be whatever you want it to be,
unless you're a 1-year-old, of course, but or Joe Biden who's got dementia. But you know, but most people know 2 and 2 is 4. Men and women is 2 and 2 equals 5. We've just been blind to it. Yeah, I completely agree, SS. And with this whole gender thing as well, I mean, we talked about this on the show a few days ago, how traditional religions have kind of declined over the past, certainly the last 10 to 15 years. And there's been a kind of hole left there for people to need something to believe in. And I think this gender conversation has kind of filled that hole for a lot of people. So it is like a new religion in some ways, this gender conversation to me, because it's not founded in any truth. There's no actual evidence or good evidence. And it's all based on an ideology. So to me, I see it more as a religion in some ways, this whole thing.
I found the clip, by the way, but I only have it on my phone.
We'll just play it another show. We'll play it another show.
Yeah, Will. Oh, hey, I'm green. Yeah, what's it called? Dave Gosling, he actually gifted a bunch of memberships. So you were one of the selected few to get a membership for the channel.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, congratulations. Mate. You're part of the JNA fam now.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll leave it. We'll find that clip for another day, because I'm sure it'll be
yeah.
What's that?
I became religious because of all this. It drove me towards God. It hasn't gone that far for us. However,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I can understand.
I've seen a lot of people, you know, Vivek Ramaswamy has been saying this when I've seen him speak in the last few weeks, you know, that a lot of what we're seeing in society, especially in the Western world, is because we've edged away from traditional values like Christianity, for, you know, which is the prominent religion in the West. And he seems to think there's a correlation between that and what we're seeing in the world of all this gender madness and woke ideologies. And in a way, you can kind of see what he's saying. I mean, I'm not a religious person, but I can see what he's saying, that we have lost our more traditional values in the West, and certainly Christianity would fall into that for me, for sure.
All right, I did get it.
Okay.
This
is the math thing you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we make this bigger?
Yeah.
There we go.
So I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 + 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 + 2 might actually equal 5.
Quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 +?
Yeah, that's it. I haven't watched that clip in a long time. I shared it. I'm gonna delete it now, but
why?
Well, I'll reshare it, but I didn't write anything. I just needed it up on the screen.
Okay.
I'll retweet that though.
Well,
I'll do it properly.
It doesn't surprise me how there's some idiots out there who think math is now racist. I mean,
what
we'll add it
a
to
ridiculous
the list.
statement.
Didn't we see a clip earlier where someone was saying that sleep was racist?
Yeah, how sleep is a form of racism because some people sleep better than others, or some races do.
Apparently, black people don't sleep as well as white people, so that means sleep is racist now. Okay.
I know, an activity that your body naturally does when it's tired. The world has gone mad, but we are reporting on it every day at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Absolutely. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow, and we're going to have a guest on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
We'll announce it tomorrow, but I need to make a little promo thing for it, like a little trailer.
Yeah, very special guest. We're very excited about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, look out for the announcement tomorrow. Josh is going to do his thing and make a nice, cool little clip.
Absolutely. But before we go, guys, this is like the millionth time.
I know.
The millionth time.
I know. I was trigger happy.
Pressing the wrong button.
Fire me. Fire me.
I'm going to have to employ a DEI policy for the Josh and Artemis show.
God, I'd love to see that. But anyway, I mean, I'm Greek. Isn't that enough?
But anyway, yeah.
No, it's not.
But yeah, if you like the stuff we talk about, guys, like, share, subscribe to the show. It does really help us a lot.
For sure. And make sure you're following us on X as well. And if you do want to support that show a little bit further, you can become a YouTube, Patreon, or Buy Me Coffee member, or just donate to the show. Links are in the description of this video and, of course, on our homepage on X and YouTube. On X, you just hit view more and you can see a full bio of what we do and what we're all about and the links there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night and we hope everybody has a good night.
Take it easy, guys. Enjoy your night and enjoy the weekend.
Keep your sanity.
Yeah.